All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am your host for today's broadcast, Insane Leader 13, as we are standing by, waiting to get underway here for TORA's 24 Hours of Daytona Sea Lobby 6th stint. We are now about to go racing under the lights here at Daytona. But first, let's go ahead and give you a bit of a recap over what's happened over the last several stints. So it starts all the way back in stint 1. Isa Bay dominated the prototypes, while Nizrama had a big incident at the end of the first lap. In the GT category, it was Ducky who dominated until the first round of pit stops. They went way too long on their stops, while Larry B. the G ended up closing in a bunch by pitting early, made a humongous Herculean overtake around the outside, which has been one of his big signature moves, even if it's kind of half and half if it works. But Larry made that stick, and Larry went into the lead. That meant that was Larry versus LMP Flo, who was on an alternate strategy for the GT win back in stint 1. In the end, it would be LMP Flo that would take off the top time. Ducky would not even be able to finish in the GT category. Nizrama had another spin later in stint 1, but despite that would still race all the way back up to a third place finish at the end of the first stint. However, it came with the caveat that he forgot to make one of his stops. He is guaranteed to be getting a big time penalty off the back of that. The winner in the... And then Isa Bay, who was projected to easily win stint 1, ran themselves out of fuel before the first before their final pit stop, so they dropped from first to a distant fourth. That gave NWR Origin, who started 6th and raced his way up to 2nd, a big lead, and NWR Origin was your stint 1 winner in prototypes, while LMP Flo Alt won stint 1 in GTs. In stint 2, Haikyo went back-to-back on lag out, sad to say. Origin and Nizrama immediately went to the front and started dueling with each other, and while they were 3 wide trying to pass a GT car, Origin lagged out. That meant that Nizrama was completely untouched for the rest of the day and walked off without issue. But reliability ended up being a big issue there in that stint. 4 different prototype drivers would lag out, including drivers like Chungjan, who was as high as 2nd before he lagged out. Meanwhile, in the GT category, Larry B. the G, it took a lot longer, but he eventually caught Ducky, was walking away, a sure lock-in to win it. However, at the end, it ended up being Ducky win as Larry lagged out in the closing moments of the event. Then it went down to Veloce, who was coming home 3rd in stint 2 in GTs, ran out of fuel with less than 5 minutes left, had to make an extra stop and drop to a very distant 4th. In stint 3, it was Darkers versus TJ on strategy. In the end, there was just nothing that TJ could really do. TJ didn't do anything really wrong, just could not catch up, keep pace with Darkster, even though I think TJ had a slightly better strategy. Darkster also did the weird double stop. He pitted his 2nd and 3rd stop just 1 lap between each other. Meanwhile, in the GT category, also there was incidents farther back between the likes of Shadow and Twitch. The GT category was pretty Lucas pretty much walked off, could have gotten back-to-back wins for that BMW entry, but he lagged out with less than 4 minutes left, so ended up being Veloce who won in the GT category in stint 3. Then you get to stint 4. It was Daryl who started on pole, and immediately in the very first corner, he went off circuit. Unku, further back, had a spin on lap 1, and Fuego did as well. In fact, that was kind of the big thing. A lot of different drivers in the prototypes and GTs had accidents. I believe it was 4 different prototypes and 4 different GT drivers had accidents in the first 10 minutes there. So it really shook up the order in that scenario. Then we ended up having that as the race went on. And of course, I didn't even bother because I knew we were going to have some sort of issue. We're bound to. But anyways, as that 4th stint continued on, there was a bit of a moment as TJ hip-checked Phoenix 8 in the Porsche GT into an accident going through the 2nd infield hairpin. So that was a bit of an issue, sad to say. At the top of the GT category, it was Maul versus RockShock early on, but Maul just did not have the pace to keep up and gradually slipped to a distant 3rd place result. In the prototype battle for that 4th stint, TJ opened up a big gap early on. However, Hanser was slowly closing in, and on the final pit stop, Hanser did the undercut, and that got him right behind TJ. TJ and Hanser had a brutal knockout, drag-out fight, knives out for about 20 minutes. In the end, Hanser barely got TJ. It was really, really aggressive. I wouldn't be surprised to see some penalties come out of it. I hope not, but I wouldn't be surprised considering how TORA is, while Rock Chalk took home an easy win in the GT category. Then the most recent stint, probably the most stint I've ever been able to cover in my entire time doing TORA broadcasting. At the top, it was a 5-way fight in the prototypes. Tak, Unku, Viraj, Hanser, and Nizrama in a 5-way fight for about the first 20 to 25 minutes of that stint. Absolutely insane stuff. But in the end, as it went on, Hanser just had everyone's number and pretty much walked away from everyone after they got done with their first pit stop. It let everyone spread out and he could just focus on people one at a time instead of trying to knock out 4 or 5 different drivers at once. So that let Hanser open up a big gap. Nizrama was on his pace and was on an alternate strategy trying to run down Hanser. And in the end, that worked. And Nizrama and Hanser were on top of each other. In the last 3 minutes, at the end, they were right on top of each other, nose to tail. Hanser won by literal, maybe a foot and a half over Nizrama after a good 100-minute stint. In the GT category, we didn't really see a lot early on because I was so focused at the front, but it was really close between Larry B, the G, and Rock Chalk. The two of them were on top of each other before their second pit stop, after the second pit stop, before their third pit stop, and slightly a bit after the third pit stop. However, the undercut, oh, 1 second. I apologize for that. As I was saying, the undercut that Larry B kept doing, pitting 2 to 5 laps before Rock Chalk, just kept putting him farther and farther back. At the final pit stop, though, in the GT category, it was Rock Chalk who had to do the undercut, which put him right back into Larry's clutches, but Larry couldn't really do anything. The GT drivers fell apart just a bit. At the very end, they ended up being right on top of each other, but it was Rock Chalk who went back to back, and Rock Chalk's entry, the LMP Corvette, has won 4 of the first 5 stints in GT, including the last 3 in a row. Real quickly, we look at the driver's list here. We can't actually see the paint on anyone's car, and I do apologize for that. But keep an eye on it, that, and we'll try to show you what everyone's looks like once we load onto the circuit proper here. All right, right now we're just staying by, waiting to get underway. Not really sure what the holdup is. I think, oh, we're missing someone. Someone's lagged out. That explains it. I do apologize for that. That was a bit bold of me to immediately start saying. I apologize for that, but we should be loading onto the circuit here in a little bit, I think. Yeah, for whatever reason, we're having trouble getting our 19th and final driver in onto the circuit, and I do apologize for that. All right, so I think everyone's here now. Looks like everyone's here at least. It looks like we now have 19 drivers once again. So we should be able to get underway very shortly here. I will try to knock out one more ad break before we start rolling the cars, just so we can go as long as we can in the race as possible without ads coming in. I got really fortunate that I was able to snooze and push off ads in Stint 5 for at least 15 minutes, as everything was so intense at the front. That gap in the wall back there underneath the map. I see a gap in the wall back there underneath the map. That's weird. I blame Bush. Thanks, Alana. Anyways, now I've got those goofy jokes out of the way. Now we're going to see the field as they begin to properly line up here. Let's turn the Twitter off. All right, so real quickly, let's run through the field as they are ordered. Starting with your pole sitter for a second straight event, Tactical Fallout in number 21, Velocity Racing Jaguar, followed by Nizrama in number 13, Nissan. Behind them will be Chungjon, I guess. In the number 69, Jaguar, followed by AMS Andrew in the 683. CBL BX Con is still keeping the number 98 Porsche alive in the top 5 for now. Followed up by 6th place NWR Berkeley in the 157. Then Apex Fuego in the number 45 machine. Then FTC Ashcon. And I don't know where our remaining prototype is. We should have another prototype slipped in here. I don't know where they are. I'm guessing that is Larry B. Not Larry B. That is Freelancer who hasn't started moving yet. Leading the GT category will be RBHM Road Rat. There he is. There goes the prototype. So in GT, it will be RBHM Road Rat, followed by HYR Riddle U in the Nissan, then EMC Bravo in the Chevy, J Black 240 in the BMW, Kart Racer in the Nissan, Godzilla in the Ferrari, which has gradually been moving up the grid, then Momonica in the Porsche, Larry in the Chevy, PTG Brains in the BMW. All right, welcome back to Daytona, and we are underway as our prototypes are now rolling. Tactical Fallout back-to-back, starting at the front. Last time he started front but fell to 6. Granted, he's not been a prototype since 2022, but the other thing, he put on a massive fight and really held the field up for that big 5-way knockout, drag-out brawl that went on for the entire run to the first pit stop. Now he has to do it all over again, and it's Nizrama, the same person who was behind him as last time. As the field comes out of the hairpin. To the line. Will Tack get another good jump? What about Nizrama? And Tack got a fantastic jump. I think that might have been a little bit better than last time. And third place, Lancer, who did not have a good jump at all. Lancer immediately falls under threat from Andrew and falls behind Andrew. In literally the first corner, Lancer loses a position. Not a great start for him. But Nizrama holds on to second and now is already starting to close back down on Tactical Fallout. Is AMS Andrew right behind though. All prototype infield still all nice and tucked up together. No one seems to have gone off in the first few corners this time by at least. So Nizrama in the 13 came home second in the prior stint. He's finished stints in third, first, and second in that order. And this is his fourth stint. What can he do here? The final stint before the reset as well. Already, the back of the prototype grid is has already pretty much fallen apart. It's just the top three. Tak, Nizrama, and Andrew are kind of off on their own, and Andrew has a big run on Nizrama. Looking to the outside. Drag race, side by side position. Andrew around the outside. Nizrama, can he make it stick? Yes, because Nizrama touches the grass on the inside. Then he touches Andrew. Drag race now, but no, Andrew puts the power down and is through. So it's not been that easy for Nizrama early on in these stints, but as it goes on, he seems to get hotter and hotter and hotter. So now Andrew has to try and run down Tak. Tak does not have to hold 4 different people behind him right now. It looks like at the rate that the field is spraying out, he's only going to have to try and hold back 2. Berkey has moved his way up into 4th once again. Nizrama has a draft now on Andrew. Tak's starting to pull away a little bit. Nizrama, he's got draft, but does not seem to have that outright blistering straight line speed that he needs. Closes in significantly though in the bus stop. And is right tucked up behind again. Berkey and Freelance are having their own little fight for 4th position right now, along with Big Chungjon in 6th, then Fuego in 7th, and the Porsche prototypes probably their worst down yet, immediately to the back of the prototype grid. GTs also have already seen a pretty significant spread as well at this stage of the event. I think it's only the top. Oh, and that is Freelance, I think, that went off. Yeah, Freelance slid off, and it lets Apex Fuego get a run and will overtake him on the outside. Now Freelance gets hit from behind by Chungjon. Meanwhile, RBM8 Road Rat holds on for the lead in GT, but Prototype is where it's at right now. Andrew leaves the inside open to Nizrama, and Berkey 7 is starting to close in on this group, and right now they are not closing on Tak in the lead at the moment. We might see a 3-way fight for second here develop momentarily. Nizrama slides the rear of the car just a little bit. God, those lights are bright. So Berkey has the draft off Nizrama. Nizrama has the draft off of Andrew. Andrew, fast and straight, but so much slower in the bus stop. Nizrama again pulls right up behind. But we see Andrew start pulling away again as his setup really lets him pull away in the straight line. Andrew has maximized straight line speed, and thus far today, it seems like having straight line speed is the key to winning and getting good results and good overall distance in these events. And now, Andrew is starting to close in on Tactical. I think Andrew realizes that Nizrama is not really in a position to fight. So Andrew is going to start seriously pushing forward and not going to worry too much about defense. Nizrama right there in the infield, pulls up right behind, but does not seem to be really willing to make any big aggressive moves yet. Might just be happy to let Andrew set the pace and have Andrew drag him up into the fight for the lead against Tactical Fallout. We could be looking at a slightly toned down version of a repeat of the first stint, of Stint 5 start. But that depends. If Nizrama and Andrew start going side by side through a bunch of these corners, start bleeding off each other's speed, I think Tak will be able to hold on to his top spot for a lot longer. But Nizrama just does not seem to have the straight line speed to keep up with Andrew, or getting side by side with him in a lot of these corners. That just does not look like it's going to happen unless Andrew has a really, really bad run. You can see how much Nizrama closes in the bus stop chicane particularly, but just around the rest of the circuit, the difference between them, it's in Andrew's favor significantly on the ovals, and in the infield, it's in Nizrama's favor, but not enough to make up the gap that Andrew is pulling on the oval. Also, Birchie, he was closing in on Nizrama and Andrew, but that seems to have fallen away as well. I think Birchie might have pace to run down Nizrama if Nizrama puts together some bad laps, but yeah, right now it seems like our top four are close on track, but they're not really on momentum to be close to each other. I think, if anything, Andrew might, it's a big if, but he might be able to drag Nizrama with him, and we may have a 3-car fight at the front if Andrew catches tack sooner rather than later. But Andrew is not raining tack down as quickly as I thought he would be. He's raining him down for sure, but not happening super fast. Well, further down the grid in GT, it is HYR Riddle U, who has just pulled off the move on RBHM Road Rat, but Rat will have the inside line coming into the first infield hairpin. He makes the dive, but gets cut off. And Nissan, number 31 Nissan, goes to the lead on merit. Fantastic job there by Riddle U, who takes the lead in the GT category early on. Third place is J Black 240. Chevrolet definitely has a run when it comes to straight line speed. We saw it early, and I think we're going to see it now. We did see, I shouldn't say by merit for the first time, we have seen a Nissan fight for a lead early on in one of the earlier stints, just could not keep up over the full length of a stint. Lost touch after the first pit stop. Oh, and FTC Ashcan has already dropped out. That hurts. And now we're back to only having one Porsche running in the prototype category once again. Side by side for position for GT lead. Road Rat goes deep into the bus stop. Powers out, is sideways, but gets the lead back. There's just no stopping these cars that have these massive straight line speed advantages. Also, Nizrama has gotten by Andrew for second position. Has absolutely opened the gap. I think it's more like Andrew may have gone off, because Nizrama is now all by himself on circuit. Andrew must have gone off, I wonder. So now Nizrama isn't going to have to worry about being held up, but does not have any draft to help in a straight line either. And now it's Berkey and Andrew fighting for third. Well, more of a stalking battle, not really an outright fight. Wait a second. Nizrama is in the Nizrama is in the wrong bucket group. He is in the wrong driver group, I think. I think Nizrama should be in the red group, the number 1 group, and not the number 2 group. Now, I don't know what the performance difference is between the red and the blue, but if the blues are the D-powered ones, which I think is the case, and the reds are the normal-powered ones, which I think is the case, Nizrama may be in a lot of hurt right now. This could be big for this team. Nizrama, of the 4 stints, it's been really up and down, and I think this one's going to be another down stint in the wrong bucket. I don't know if that means he's going to have a massive power handicap or not, but it is not looking good for them right now. As our prototype leader, Tactical Fallout, is going to be catching GT traffic this lap by. It looks like most of the field and prototypes have already solidified. It looks like GT is where the fight's going to be at. Oh, Riddle, you all sorts of sideways, putting the power down, coming out of that first hairpin. And let's Road Rat get right up behind him once again. Run down now into the second infield hairpin. Riddle, you holds it for the moment. Rat looks to the inside. But the Nissan has a nice smooth, well, not that smooth of a run. Now the Chevy looks to the inside. Will he lunge? No, he will not lunge. But he will have the speed. He should be able to outrun the Nissan into the bus stop chicane if he wanted to. As the prototype field now cuts their way through the GT traffic. Or I think they're going to. No, something's happened. Tactical Fall has fallen back into the clutches of Nizrama. Or not. Never mind. I forgot. The GT field got kind of split up. I apologize. Anyways, Rat went deep into the bus stop chicane, took the lead back from Riddle U. I can tell I've been broadcasting for a bit because I'm making simple, stupid mistakes now. Riddle U tucked up behind the Chevrolet. Using the draft to not lose too much time. Will Riddle U make a big dive going into turn 1? You can see Prototype and Tactical Fall making moves farther back. Meanwhile, third and fourth, EMC Bravo and J Black 240 are just a little bit behind this fight for lead in GT. Oh, and the Chevy! Oh my goodness, Road Rat completely misses the track, and that opens up a massive gap in favor of Riddle U. And meanwhile, here comes Tactical Fallout, your prototype leader. Blitzes past 2 more GT cars, only has 2 more to go, and then it'll be in clean track, and that is CBL XCon, who is making his first stop early, it seems. The earliest of all of the prototype drivers. In fact, I think the first of everyone thus far. Road Rat slides sideways after Tactical Fall cuts down in front of him right in the braking zone. And Tac immediately fires past Riddle U without too much issue. Between Andrew and Berkey, it looks like Andrew has stationed. Berkey has kind of fallen off just a little bit. I'll say a little bit. It's a big bit. In fact, if anything, Andrew is kind of in no man's land. It's like most of the prototypes are all kind of in a no man's land scenario right now. Andrew will barely outrun Brave before they get to the bus stop chicane. They still have to worry about GT traffic ahead, though. Power's out of the bus stop, and won't have to worry too much about it. We'll rip around Road Rat, and we'll catch Riddle U in the straight. So not too bad of a run for Andrew through the bus stop chicane and completing their run through the field. Fight for 5th and 6th is between Fuego and Shungjan. They also don't seem to be having too much of an issue getting through the GT traffic at the moment. Oh my goodness, Shungjan, did you really make that stick? Yes, he did! He did! Holy moly, Shungjan, that was so perfect! He threw that car into the turn 1 with no control, got alongside Apex Fuego, and made the overtake stick! Caught the 45 behind traffic, and he's gone! Shungjan with that incredible move! I am stacked! That is probably the best move, that best single move I've seen all day long today. That was incredible by Shungjan. Incredible overtake there. That car was completely out of control, but he didn't hit anything, didn't touch anything, and made the move stick perfectly. I am so incredibly impressed by that. Meanwhile, Riddle U leads in the GT category. Road Rat runs just a little bit behind on track. You can see the Chevrolet of Road Rat gain the draft on the Nissan, closes in significantly. Riddle U faster going through the bus stop. I mean, yeah, I see that Chevrolet closing, but is he closing enough to try and get alongside Riddle U in the braking zone? He's almost there, he's almost there. How deep does he brake? He keeps it on track at least. And Riddle U is not having the greatest time putting power down out of these corners either. So that is a legitimate comeback run there by Road Rat. So this fight in the GT lead is absolutely alive. Slide by Riddle U. Road Rat still tucked up behind. Road Rat's close enough. He should be able to easily make the overtake. On the run to the bus stop, we've seen Road Rat make this overtake stick 2 times before. Will third time be the charm, and will he make it without needing to make the overtake again? Did someone else lag out now? What in the devil was that? And that's Momenika, who was near last in the GT category, who drops out. So one of our back markers in GT and one of our back markers in Prototype drop out early. Road Rat does not make the move on Riddle U, going through the bus stop chicane. Not this time, but it'll be close enough. He should be able to easily outrun the Nissan on the run down to turn 1. Around the outside. He's got the run, heavy under the brakes. Doesn't slide off circuit, stays right behind the Nissan. Power down. And for now, Riddle U holds the top spot. Got alongside Road Rat did there in the first hairpin in the infield, but just could not keep it. For Road Rat, it's very obvious that for him, all of his big moves ideally will probably come on the straightaways. Road Rat just completely misses the hairpin that time. That's going to work out in Riddle U's favor. All right, onto the straight once again. We know that Road Rat has the run, has the ability to make any of the moves stick pretty much if it's in a straight line because he's just so much faster. But in the braking zone, it's a lot harder to tell. Look at how quickly he's closing down. We'll have to back off. They're braking here, going through the bus stop chicane. Riddle U not really having a great time in the bus stop either, though. Really bad exit by Riddle U, and already Road Rat's closing down. Well, this will be an easy overtake. Around the outside. Neck and neck. 828's already completed the overtake before they even get to the start-finish line. It was really cut and dry. Road Rat to the top. How deep does he go into turn 1? He slides, but it brings Riddle U right behind, but Riddle U's not in a position to get back alongside. So now for Road Rat, he just needs to try and outrun everyone into the corners. Rat touches the dirt just a little bit there, kind of upsets his line. So thus far, Tactical Fallout will be the first of our prototype drivers to pit, so that gives Nizrama the lead early on. I mean, I guess there's CBL BXCon, but I'm not really counting him. He's not really in the fight for the prototype battle, sorry to say. Last place in prototypes coming up to blitz by our leaders in GT here. Riddle U has the draft on Road Rat, lets him keep in touch with the Chevrolet on the run into the bus stop, gets a fantastic run through there, pulls out side by side. Oh, Road Rat all sorts of sideways. Here comes Riddle U on the outside, has the run, but now he's got traction, and the power of the Chevrolet should let Road Rat pull back ahead of Riddle U without too much issue. And Riddle U is coming into the pits. So Road Rat will stay out. How long is Road Rat going to stay out for? got a good chunk of fuel left in the car. He can be out on track for a long time. That's 10th and 11th in GT, with both already gone. Who are, well, they're trying to close in on this fight, but Bravo and Larry are spending so much time fighting with each other. I don't know if they'll be able to run down RBHM Road Rat. So Nirvana leads right now in the prototype category. And Andrew goes ahead and makes a pit stop. We're going to knock out an ad break now, and hopefully we won't miss any important pit stop actions. We see Fuego and Lancer pit as well. Nice job, he did it again. Did someone else drop out now? Yeah, it was Godzilla. This is gonna be one of those reliability issue stints. Alright, welcome back to Daytona. Larry B and EMC Bravo slugging it out as Chevrolets take the top 3 positions on track right now. Larry desperately wants to see if he can run down RBHM Road Rat and try and get a stint victory that has been denied from him in his earlier runs. He's had the pace, he's had the car, he's had everything, but he's just been bridesmaid or not been able to finish most of his attempts thus far. Also in prototype, Andrew trying but not really having any luck trying to close down Tactical Fallout. Right now, Tactical Fallout is the highest of all the prototypes that have made a stop. Our top 3 prototype drivers, Mizrama, NWR Berkey, and Changdan, have yet to make their first stop of the stint. Looks to me like Larry is running Road Rat down. Road Rat seems to be really struggling in turn 1, and Larry does not seem to be struggling quite as much, which is ironic because it felt like it was the other way around in the prior stint. And Larry's also gradually pulled away from EMC Bravo as he focuses ahead towards Road Rat. Let's look real quickly at the fuel and tires of our top 2 GT cars. 12.5% left in the tank for Larry. For Road Rat, who is our GT leader at the moment, 46. So Road Rat has enough fuel to go a ridiculously long period of time. Tires will be more of Road Rat's limiting factor than fuel. Larry running a lot less fuel, though, means he's going to be a lot faster, a lot nimbler in the corners, and will have better initial acceleration. So I wonder if that's one of the main reasons why he's closing. Road Rat had a big issue there in the bus stop. And now around the outside goes Larry B. No, that wasn't Larry B. Sorry, that was a prototype. Sorry. I apologize for that. That was a stupid mistake to make. Well, the driver who was in position to lead in prototypes, tactical fault, drops out. 4 second-place finishes in a row, then a 6th in stint 5, and now a DNF. So that team completely derailed, and now I think this kind of puts everyone up in the air for who's going to be ahead in the prototype categories. Is it going to be Nizrama in this race, or is it going to be Birchie? And in overall distance, who's it going to be as well? Also, Birchie already making their 2nd stop? Huh? Am I seeing that right? Nizrama now is the only prototype driver who has not yet made their first stop, as we are already over 30 minutes into this stint 6 here. Nizrama forgot to make a stop in an earlier stint. Is he going to make the same mistake again? I mean, I don't think so, but I can't help but wonder. Oh no, he's pitting this time. Okay. Meanwhile, GT, the top 3, all still Chevrolets. But look at this. We're right on board the EMC Bravo, who is 3rd. And you can see Larry closing in on Road Rat. Ahead, Road Rat's pitting this lap. But Larry is the one who stays out. So Road Rat will probably have a nice short pit stop, because he doesn't have to put as much fuel in the car, I imagine. Where will Riddle you end up in relation to Road Rat? I don't think Riddle you is really close enough to do anything to Road Rat, I have to admit. Those are prototypes in the form of Fuego and Lancer having to fight for 5th and blitzed by Riddle you there. Yeah, Riddle you is not going to be anywhere near Road Rat. This has been Chevy walk-off. Chevy, I think, is going to win 5 of the first 6 stints. The only stint they've not won was due to a dropout, and that went to the BMW driver instead. But yeah, Riddle you is nowhere near Road Rat. So that fight that Riddle you was putting up earlier, completely over and delayed now. I think it's just going to be Larry B versus Road Rat. And we don't know when Larry is going to make his stop. I'll probably either this lap or next lap. All of our prototype drivers have pitted, and it is Nizrama who is at the head, well ahead of Birchie at this stage of the event, as Andrew and Seungjan duel it out for the last podium spot on the grid right now. Well, the last podium spot in the prototypes right now. Seungjan's got the run on the outside of Andrew. Goes wide, gets the run off the banking. It's a drag race, neck and neck for 3rd. Coming across the line. Too close to call. Who goes deeper under braking? Oh, it's Seungjan by a massive margin. It ends up causing him to slide out, keeping Andrew in 3rd position for now. Seungjan hits Andrew in the rear bumper there, trying to give him a bit of a hurry up. So right now, Nizrama leads, but the big thing is Nizrama in the Ron bucket should be in the red, I believe. So I don't know. It might be Birchie who is actually in the overall lead. I don't know what the results, what the call is going to be. The thing is, Nizrama, I'm pretty sure, is in a worse power handicap than what he should be. He's not in the wrong category in a cheating way. It would be in a way that's hurting himself. So I don't think TORA would do anything about it if he's made himself artificially slower. Weird things have happened. We probably won't know for a while. But Nizrama might be in position to win a stint on a botched handicap. It would be very bizarre if that is what happens. All right, Larry pitting now out of the lead. So now we see it is Bravo who takes the top spot. But where is Road Rat going to be in relation to Larry? That is the big question. Larry already on the run down to turn 1 as Road Rat shoots down the front straightaway. Road Rat at the start-finish line. Larry hasn't even gotten into the apex of 1 yet. This is going to be close. Does Road Rat have him? Oh, this is going to be... They're going to be right on top of each other. Larry will not keep Road Rat behind him. Road Rat shoots through into the top spot in the GT category once... Well, he will be the top spot once EMC Bravo makes his stop. Really hard to tell if the undercut or overcut is better just with the way that most of this has been going. And we'll keep an eye on Bravo once Bravo makes his stop. I'm curious to see where he's going to end up in relation to these two. So we're down to only 14 cars right now. 7 prototypes, 7 GTs. Bravo making his stop now. So where's Bravo going to end up in relation to RBHM Road Rat and TNR Larry B? Smooth for Road Rat. I think now Riddle U is gone. He's walked it down just a little bit and isn't charging with as much pizzazz going into these braking zones. Alright, Bravo is already on the run down to turn 1. He's not even gotten to turn 1 yet. Road Rat's across the line. Apex at turn 1 for Bravo. Road Rat slides really wide. That's not going to help him one bit. Actually will bring Larry back up into the fray. There is Bravo coming out of pit lane now. And Bravo will end up behind both of them. Not by a massive margin, though. In fact, I think he's closer than he was before. So Larry stalks Road Rat, the same car that he finished second to in the prior stint. He's running right behind him once again. Rat has the straight line speed advantage. This is the opposite of where Larry was in the last stint. Right now, Larry is the one smoother in the corners, and Road Rat is the one that's faster in the straights. Ooh, Larry's a lot closer, though. If he's got the draft off of Road Rat, this could turn things in his favor. Yeah, it looks like he's got it. He's got that draft. Is it going to be enough to let him try and get alongside in turn 1? Well, he is closing. He is closing with speed. If he's going to make the move, is he going to try and make that outside line, that really risky but bold outside line? He breaks early. Sticks to the outside. Road Rat holds station without issue. Both of them are starting to pull away from EMC Bravo. This fight for third and prototypes continues between Shengzhan and Andrew. Shengzhan was not able to finish the stint he was in earlier, trying to redeem himself in the car that won the last 2 prototype stints. CBL BX Con making their second stop of the event before all the other prototypes. Again, Porsche's just no performance at all. Maybe in the higher lobby, the Porsches are really pounding out some great times, but I have a feeling that's not actually the case. We'll see later. Oh, wait! Larry's gotten by Road Rat, what? Yeah, he did! Drag race into turn 1! Road Rat inside, Larry outside! And they both slide way off track. Larry crossing over on corner exit. Road Rat puts the power down and is ahead though. Larry hops over a curb, barely keeps the car straight. It shows me for focusing on not a lead fight. So Larry has put Road Rat on note. Larry believes he is faster, is going to press the issue. And once he gets drafts in the straight, boy, is he faster, it seems. And just behind is EMC Bravo. If these two spend too much time sliding through the corners, it could let Bravo sneak by. 3 Corvettes dominate here in the GT category. Corvettes have really been the dominant thing all day today. Only 1 stint has not been won by a Corvette. All of the stints have been won thus far by that machine that is currently leading GT. Ooh, is Larry close enough for the draft again? He is. Oh, he is. But is he going to be able to pull alongside or not? Closing down. Does Larry go to that big outside lunge once more? He does. Here it comes. Outside lunge. Neck and neck into turn 1. But Larry just cannot keep it. As Road Rat holds the tighter but quicker inside line, puts the power down and holds station. Good. I'm going to knock out an ad break real quickly. Hopefully when we come back, these two will still be on top of each other. I'm just being quiet right now, partially because my throat's giving me problems, but also because this is legitimately good racing. I just want to let the racing do the talking right now. Also in prototypes, Nizrama, despite being in a underpowered car due to a handicap buck-up, is still walking away from Berkey at the moment. As the fight for third in prototypes has just caught up to this lead fight in GTs. I feel like Larry was a little bit worse off for it, all things considered. So Andrew stays ahead of Xiongjan. Two have been on top of each other for almost the entire stint, honestly. Oh, and Xiongjan hits and spins Andrew! Oh no, Andrew didn't go all the way around. Andrew saved it. That's not going to help them in overall distance, obviously. We look back at the fight for the GT lead. Looks like Road Rat's starting to pull on Larry just a bit. What is their fuel and tires looking like? Road Rat does not have a lot left in the tank. What of Larry? Larry has even less. Fuego pits out fifth in prototypes now. Only our top four prototypes have yet to make their second stop, but honestly, Nizrama and Berkey are pretty much locked into their positions as long as they don't lag out or have a big accident. There's a fight between Andrew and John, though, that is worth watching. Well, keeping an eye on. I don't know if I should say watching. Ooh, Andrew! And John hits Andrew from behind and goes way off into the weeds. That was dramatic. Meanwhile, the fight for the lead in GT. Larry right behind Road Rat again as they come out of the bus stop. This could be Larry's best shot at stealing the lead. He goes to the outside of Road Rat. Road Rat seems to have that initial speed, but I think Larry might still have that big straight line speed advantage that he had in the prior stint. It's not as significant, but I think he still has it. Drag race. Larry has the car ahead at the line. Who goes deeper into turn one? It's Larry, and he slides out, and that lets Road Rat take the position back. Chevrolet is on track to block up 1-2-3 finish here in the GT category. make the move? Does he go for the dive here in the bus stop this time? I don't think he does. He looks to the outside, trying to diamond off the bus stop a little bit more. Larry's got the run again. Not as close to Road Rat as he was last time, but he should still be close enough to pull alongside going into turn 1. This fight for the GT lead has been the defining feature of our 6th stint. And Larry goes around the outside. This time, again, nose ahead at the line. Who goes deeper under braking? This time, it's Road Rat who goes deeper. Both cars slide wide, but Larry gets back on faster. Drag race out turn 1. Road Rat slides the rear end, and is going to fall back in line behind Larry. Larry to the top. Same thing that he did last time. However, now Larry brakes a little earlier and lets Road Rat slide himself off, and now Larry back to the top. That's Andrew 4th in prototypes right now, as Andrew's already made a stop, but Seungjan has not yet made his 2nd stop. So that fight for 3rd in prototypes have broken up for the moment. Larry is wide in the 2nd hairpin, and Road Rat has a run. Does Road Rat make the dive? Oh, he thought of it, but Larry closed it off. Not aggressively, just kind of gradually. Drag race on the speedway, turn 1, and Larry has it. Now Seungjan makes his stop. But this has been where the real action has been, at the top of the GT category. Keep an eye on Seungjan and Andrew. It is interesting to see where they're going to end up. But here we are, Road Rat outside, Larry inside, drag race! How aggressively is Larry pushing the issue into the bus stop? Not, he backs way out. And he'll fall back in line in the draft of Road Rat now. Oh, Larry's going to be pitting this time by. Road Rat's staying out, but Larry is pitting. All right. Well, so now the question is Road Rat going to put together some good laps now that he's in clean air? He'll have to deal with prototypes trying to get by him behind. That is an active fight for 6 and 7 between BX Khan and Fuego. BX Khan didn't have the greatest start, but he has gotten to the position where he can fight with one other prototype at least, even if it is Fuego. Nothing against Fuego himself, but just that 45 Apex prototype entry has just been absolutely slammed with horrible performance and inability to finish stints. Fuego's honestly been their strongest driver, and even then, a top 5 would be a miracle for Fuego. So Berkey is pitting out of 2nd position. After pit stops, Seungjan has opened up a bit of a gap on Andrew for 4th. This is the fight for 6th, which is right now the closest one on the track. But we'll keep an eye on Road Rat versus Larry B once we see Road Rat make his next stop. And here comes Road Rat into the pit now. Keep an eye on Larry as well. Where's Road Rat and Larry going to end up in relation to each other? They've had about 2 laps of clean air now. This could be big. This could be huge. Who's it going to be at the top of the GTs once more? Out of turn 4 is Larry. Coming up to the start-finish line. I have a feeling Larry's going to clear Road Rat. Boy, do I have a feeling that Larry's going to clear Road Rat. Oh yeah, Larry's got him. Larry blitzes by Road Rat. In fact, Road Rat, I think, is going to fall behind Bravo. So now Road Rat goes from 1st to 3rd. Bravo cycles up into 2nd. It's still GT Chevrolets 1, 2, 3 in the GT category. Lancer watches this fight between Andrew and Xiongdan ahead. Really, it's more of Andrew just fighting to try and keep up with Xiongdan, but just not happening. If anything, Andrew might be under threat from Freelancer. Lancer did not have a good stint earlier, in his earlier stint in the daytime, but now in the night, it seems like Lancer's coming to life. Oh, I take that back if you're going to miss the corner like that. But still, Lancer is legitimately closing in on Andrew. This fight may be for fourth very shortly here. There's still this fight between Fuego and BX Con as well. Comes around the outside now. Lancer on Andrew. Drag race. Andrew has the inside line. Andrew on the outside. You should see Lancer get a bit of an advantage on the run off the banking. Neck and neck. Who goes deeper under braking? Lancer nearly hits the outside wall and completely botches the corner. But Andrew Zoll starts a sideways coming out of turn one. Lancer trying to cross over now. He looks to the outside coming into the first infield hairpin. Andrew slides a little wide. And look at this. Lancer powers by on the outside. Andrew slid wide. Really had bad time putting the power down out of the hairpin, and Lancer nips him without issue. Very, very smart and smooth move by the number 24 Swordfish driver. And now, the question is, will Lancer have any shot to try and run down Xiongdan and bring that number 24 Swordfish machine a third podium result? Closing in on Lancer in a straight line. Got the draft. Does he push aggressively into the bus stop chicane? No, not this time. But Lancer didn't have the greatest of runs through it. Now they come up on Riddle-You, who is fourth in GT. And now here we go. Andrew's the one on the outside of Lancer. 3 wide. No, Andrew pulls back in line behind Lancer. But they're on top of each other. 4-4. This fight is not over. Andrew is not done with Lancer yet. Now into turn one. Lancer hard under the brakes. Andrew slides out. Lancer slides out. Even worse on corner exit. It's an inverse of what happened last time. But Andrew, I don't think, is close enough to try and cross him over on exit of the bus stop. Not bus stop, of the hairpin. No. Lancer holds on to fourth. Nizrama finally makes his second pit stop of the day. Still so far ahead of Berkey that it just kind of doesn't matter. Still has plenty of fuel left. I think something has happened to Road Rat. He has fallen all the way to a very, very distant third. I don't know if it's because he's lost pace or what, but he has completely lost the plot. As we see that fight for fourth go by him in turn one. I don't see any signs of damage. He is running a very heavy fuel load, though. Lancer holds station over Andrew. It caught second place in GT. Bravo. and dispatch him. Well, Lancer dispatches him without too much issue. Big twitch, though. And they'll likely catch Larry, your current leader, without too much issue. Larry was in this position in an earlier stint, Stint 2, but lagged out. And Larry pulled us together to finally get his team a stint win for the GT category here in the C lobby. We're going to ride on board with the lap on Freelancer as he tries and hopes that he can run down Shungwon before the end of this stint. Oh, never mind. So literally just as we went to the ad break, Lancer made his stop. He's the first of our prototype drivers to make his third stop of the day. So that is pushing back to 7th. Andrew would love to try and run down this man here, Shungjan, but right now it just doesn't look like it's happening. I think this car is on track for another podium here, another podium result after back-to-back wins. But Niz Rama has a gigantic lead over 2nd and is showing no signs of slowing down, even with the car that is gimped. Most of the battles on track have pretty much evaporated at this stage of the event. Yeah. No one is close to each other on track right now. And there's not really a whole lot of pit stop alternating strategies that's caused that. It just seems like we've lost a lot of people, and along with that, just everyone's pace is so radically different. I think it's just going to kind of be looking similar to this to the end. I think our top 3 results are pretty much solid. There's a little bit of a question between Freelancer and Andrew, and maybe if Lancer puts together a bunch of great laps, is he going to be able to run down Shungjan? But we're not going to be able to tell right away. So a bit of a calmer point here in our first night stint here for the TORA 24 Hours of Daytona. Also, for those of you who care, the Stint 7 for the C lobby is already probably about 15-20 minutes underway. Riddle U making their third stop in the Nissan. Kind of a shame because the Nissans do seem to have some pace from the start, but then the moment they make their first pit stop, they just evaporate and lose all ability to keep up and just immediately drop down. BTG Brains, currently last of all our still running GT cars, is looking like he might end up going a lap down to Larry before this is over. Just does not have pace. It's a shame because this is one of the better performing cars earlier in the day, but as this has gone on, it's just gotten worse and worse for Brains. That was a double slide by both of those cars. Not really great disposal of GT traffic for Lancer that time. Meanwhile, CBL BX Khan does look like he's in a position that he will not bring that Porsche to last. Well, I don't think so at least. Fuego is up the road a ways from him, but Fuego still has yet to make a stop, and Fuego and Khan have kind of gone back and forth, hit and miss throughout the event. Still waiting on our top 5 drivers in the prototype class to make their third stop, and waiting on our top 4 in GT to make their third stop. Really no strategy shenanigans here. It's been very pick up and put down. This is your leader, Larry B. He'll probably be pitting this lap, though, I imagine. Maybe he can stretch out another lap, but I think he's going to be pitting this time around. We'll have EMC Bravo, who runs in second. He's got fuel to go for a little longer. His tires are iffy, but he's got fuel for a while. And third place, Road Rat. Well, Road Rat went for the fill up the fuel tank all the way route, and I really have to wonder if all that extra weight in the car is one of the reasons why he's struggling so much. Did Larry not pit? I think Larry will have the fuel to make it to the end of this lap. He's running it real close. I don't know if Larry's going to make it to the pit box. 1.6%. Is Larry going to throw himself away an easy win by running out of fuel? I think he will, yeah. He'll make it. It'll be close. He'll only have like 0.2, 0.3 left. And he may have had to lift and coast a bit. But I think he'll make it. 0.6. Yeah, he'll make it. Even if he runs out now, he'll have the momentum to bring him to the pits. Now, obviously, he'll only be going full bore into the pits. 0.2. 0.1. You do not cut that any closer than that. That was perfectly set up, and Bravo will join him in pit lane. We'll have our third place driver, Road Rat. Road Rat will go by, so Road Rat will now inherit the race lead once more. Young Dom Payne now third position, so we'll keep an eye on where that puts him in relation to Freelancer. Freelance is not going to be anywhere close to Young Dom, I can tell you that right now. So don't even worry about that. Yep. Freelance is nowhere close to Chung John. So yeah, Shangdong will only fall to 4th with that. So our top 3, Nizrama, Berkey, and Andrew still have yet to make their 3rd stop of the day. Road Rat, along with Jay Black, our 1st and 3rd place runners in GTs, also have yet to make their 3rd stop. Now, when Road Rat pits, we are basically guaranteed that he is going to end up behind Larry and Bravo, though. How long is Jay Black going to be staying on track here in this BMW? Not much longer. He doesn't have a lot of fuel left. If Bravo catches Jay Black, though, it could be a bit of a problem for Bravo. It might back him up into Road Rat once again. BCG Brains pitting at the back of the GT field. 28 minutes left in the stint, about 18 to get your final pit stops in. And there's Road Rat making his stop now. So we know that he's going to end up being passed by Larry. What of Bravo? I think it's pretty obvious that Bravo's going to get him. Now Road Rat will have a advantage. He doesn't have to refuel the car at all. So Road Rat will be able to short pit a little bit because he's only changing tires, doesn't have to worry about fuel. Way back pits now, so he won't be an issue for Bravo. Larry easily overtakes Road Rat on track. No issue there. And that's Road Rat, who has already been passed by Bravo. I really think that for Road Rat, the biggest flaw was putting all that extra fuel in the car. And that's 2nd place Berkey. So right down, Nizrama is the only prototype who has not yet made their 3rd stop of the day. And as I say that, Nizrama has now made their stop. But Berkey is almost a full lap behind Nizrama, so yeah, there's no need to worry. Nizrama will still maintain the lead afterwards. This is probably, legitimately, this is probably one of, if not Nizrama's best performance we have ever seen in anything. He is running a car that is in the wrong power handicap. He has gimped the car as it's absolutely destroyed the field, just walking away today. So an incredible performance by Nizrama. Currently coming out of pit lane. Set to win what would be his 2nd stint of the day. And by a massive margin at that as well. Fuego's still behind BX Con at the moment. And no one else is really close to each other. As Freelance now pits to make his final stop, he'll be the earliest of the prototypes to make their final stop. Fuego caught up to BX Con. Can he do anything to the Porsche head? I'm not so sure Fuego's going to be able to run down BX Con. I know he's a good driver, but that car just does not seem to be able to perform to any of the Apex drivers' strength thus far today. Well, what we're going to do is going to ride on board with Fuego for a full flying lap. So you get an idea of what flying lap is like in this machine that has been absolutely struggling for the Apex team today. Well, as you can see during that run on board, that Jaguar is absolutely evil and cruel to the Apex team. Fuego nearly lost it twice that lap alone. Honestly, any kind of top 5 result would be huge. This team, I don't know if the setups that they have just don't work with the car or what, but it is just not working out at all for Apex. None of their drivers have been able to perform well in this thing today. Three Lancer has now gone a lap down. Granted, it's because Lancer's already done all of their stops and Nizrama has not done any. Right now, I think all of our prototypes are on track to finish on the lead lap. "21 minutes left in the session. Fuego not really closing on BX Con by any significant margin. Con, the only Porsche left on circuit. I don't think a top 5 is in the cards for him. I think Lancer is going to get him back once he makes a stop. There's also the risk of Con being caught by Fuego, although with how evil Fuego's machine is, I don't know if Fuego can do anything to Con if he does catch him. I will say, I do have 100% confidence, though, that this is probably the most imbalanced I've ever seen the top class in TORA ever be before. I mean, you win some, you lose some. I can't really fault the officials. This is only their first run at Daytona here in this game, but still. It's very obvious that the Porsches just are not performing at all. We only had one Porsche finish on the podium here in C Lobby, and that came more off the back of a bunch of top guys dropping out rather than actual pace. So Nizrama makes their final stop early, and now Birchie goes up to the top for the moment. Didn't Nizrama have a bigger gap on Birchie than that? Did Nizrama run himself out of fuel or have an instant or something? I thought for sure Nizrama was so far ahead that he could pit and not be caught. Well, Nizrama ends up ahead of Andrew. I do wonder, did something go wrong for Nizrama? Well, 19 minutes left in the stint, 9 to finish out your pit stops. Nizrama is not going to remake that mistake he made early and accidentally go too far without making his 4th stop. Birchie leads with Changjian in 2nd. Those two have yet to make their final stop. Road Rat has completely lost touch with our top 2. Oh, and here we are. Birchie's coming in this lap. So what of Changjian? Changjian will stay out, and he will now inherit the lead. Not really in a position to win the stint, but he will inherit the lead once more. Birchie will drop behind Andrew and Nizrama. The gap between Nizrama and Changjian is not big enough for Changjian to pit without worries. How long is Changjian going to stay out? He only has a little less than 8 minutes to make this final stop. He might just run the fuel tank close to empty, honestly. Meanwhile, looking at our leader in GT, he's going to be pitting not this lap, but either next lap or the lap after. He ran himself almost bone dry earlier, but made it without issue. Bravo, who runs in 2nd position. A little bit more fuel. I imagine he'll just mirror Larry coming in the pits. And Road Rat, who had been leading earlier, but has slipped to third in GT. I don't understand why he put so much fuel in. I really hope that was a mistake and not some sort of planned calculation, because the amount of time you gain from not needing to fill up in pit lane is massively, massively negated by the amount of time you lose on track by being in a car that just has too much weight in it. Oh, so I just got some news. So I will go ahead and say apparently the A lobby is dominated by Porsches in the prototype category. So with that in mind, I may have to take back what I said. Maybe the difference in performance between the Porsche and the Jag is not as bad as it seemed. And we know the Nissan's obviously nowhere because Nissan qualified dead last in D lobby. But yeah, apparently the top lobby is Porsche dominated. So Khan has made his final stop. Where's Khan going to end up in relation to Fuego? He's Rama in second. We're just waiting to see when our leader Kyungjan makes his final stop of the day. I cannot stress this enough. Unless Nizrama has a big upset or a big screw up here, he is going to put on probably one of the most dominant shows we have ever seen in Forza. Being in a car that is improperly built, down on power. Well, it's not built wrong, but it's in the wrong category. Oh wait, something's going on here. And Andrew gets blitzed Nizrama. Is it all falling apart? Is Andrew catching Nizrama? He has caught Nizrama. Is he going to get him? Has something gone wrong? Nizrama is overfilled in fuel. That might have something to do with it. Nizrama, who's dominated even in an underpowered car, it all seems to be slipping away from him. Could it now be going in Andrew's pit? No! No! Oh, wait. No, Andrew still has yet to pit. Never mind. Never mind. Crisis averted. Andrew still has yet to pit. He'll end up well behind Nizrama. Crisis averted. Yeah. Andrew didn't underfill on his fourth stop. He's just not made his fourth stop yet. 4.5 minutes left. Nizrama will catch the draft off of Andrew and use it to tow him around to try and extend his distance a little bit. BTG Brains and last in GTS had to make 5 stops today. I don't know what's been going wrong for them. And no one in the top 5 in GT has yet made their final stop, even though there's only about 4 minutes left in the session. I have no idea what's going on there. Yeah, Larry's not pitted yet. All right, Andrew's coming in this time. But Larry hasn't pitted yet. Neither has Bravo or Road Rat or Riddle U or J Black. Are either Riddle U or J Black going to pit this time? Yep, Riddle U and J Black will both pit now. But their top 3 Chevys that dominate have been basically dominating this GT half of this lobby since the end of the first round of pit stops. They are probably going to have to pit coming to the line this time. Larry is at 1.7%. All right, we got Larry B is on fuel watch again. Is he going to have the fuel to make it to the pit lane? He's on fuel watch all over again. Is Larry going to have the fuel to make it to pit lane, or is the car going to start sputtering? He's even closer than he was last time. He's out. I don't know if it really meant anything, though. Bravo and Road Rat pit right behind him. So it didn't look like Larry lost a whole lot of time as Changjan pits out of the top spot, so we'll likely see Nizrama go by. Yep, there goes Nizrama, as he'll go back to the top spot in prototypes. Where is Berkey in relation to Changjan? All right, well, Berkey is flying down the start-finish line straight, just across the checkered line, the start-finish line. Changjan is still not all the way out of pit lane. This could get close. I think we might have a fight for a second in prototype. Now, Berkey blitzes Changjan. But Changjan is not as far behind Berkey as I thought he would be. A minute and a half left. And Fuego. Well, a minute and a half to finish your stops. And Fuego making his final stop now. So the fight's going to be for potentially for second. And then we have this fight for 5th and 6th in prototypes. Fuego runs ahead of Khan, but not for long as Khan shoots by. Fuego's not yet left pit lane. It has been a rough time for Fuego in that car. He only has to worry about driving that thing for 11 more minutes in this stint. Don't know what it's going to be like for him for the rest of the time. Fight for second, though. Berkey and Changjan. Does Changjan have anything for Berkey ahead? It's clean. They're not going to catch traffic for a long time. And when they do catch traffic, it's only going to be one car at a time as well. It's going to come down to merit. I think Changjan's got something for Berkey. This car won the last 2 stints in prototype, but might have a second now in the cards coming its way. Looking real quickly here at the telemetry. A lot of fuel in Changjan's machine. Berkey. A lot of fuel in both of them. They're both pretty heavily fueled up, so they shouldn't have to worry about fuel to the end of this race in the slightest. Everyone's made their final stops. Can Changjan do anything to Berkey on merit here? Apologize for that. So the fight for second in prototypes is alive. What can Changjan do to Berkey? Both of these cars have won a stint, but not with these drivers. In fact, stint-winning cars are currently the top 3 on track right now. Nizrama has gone up the road in the last 7.5 minutes. The fight is going to be for the last 2 steps on the podium. But I don't know if Changjan has anything for Berkey. Berkey's going to clear the Nissan. but Chang'an will not, so that's not going to help. Oh my goodness, Chang'an goes so far off, that might have settled it. Yeah, that's probably going to settle that fight for second. Well, here's something else, though. Bravo's a little closer to Larry than he has been for a while. It had been Road Rat and Larry for most of the day fighting at the front, but now Bravo putting something together. This is not a car. Neither of the cars in the top two have won in the GT category yet. Freelancer's trying to whip by, but having a little bit of trouble doing so. As Freelancer currently last of all the prototypes. He looked strong earlier on, but it's not really been there. He's not been able to keep that thing together. Does Bravo have anything for Larry? Road Rat has completely lost this duo. I don't know, Larry looks pretty solid where he is right now. Chang'an might be closing in on Berkey again with 5.5 minutes left. Real quick, take a look at that. He's closing back in, but catching is one thing. Making an overtake in these last 5 minutes is something else. With 5 minutes left, a lot of these cars are only going to be looking at 2 more full laps, and then just part of the third. Oh, Larry is all sorts of sideways. He's slid off almost. He kept it together, but it's going bad for Larry. And now Bravo is there. We have a fight for the GT lead once again somehow. Bravo to the inside of Larry. Drag race. And Bravo's got the car ahead. It's a drag race now coming onto the hairpin. They'll bring you onto the speedway section. Larry is the inside line, which is what you want. But Bravo's got to cross over, try to get to Larry's inside. Is Larry going to lose another stint victory? Bravo has the inside. Larry outside. With less than 4 minutes left. How aggressively does Larry push going into the braking zone? He goes much more aggressively than Bravo. He holds the top spot. Bravo tries to lunge. He closes in on Larry just a little bit as Larry is sideways coming out of the bus stop. Larry holds the inside. Bravo outside now. Once again, drag race. Through turns 3 and 4. Bravo will get a run coming off the banking on the high side. They are in a dead heat, but it looks like Bravo is pulling ahead just a little bit. Neck and neck at the line. And who goes deeper on the brakes in turn 1? Oh boy, it's Bravo. Still side by side, and Larry slides into Bravo. He's still sliding, but he'll hold station for now. But suddenly, the GT leaders are fighting once again. Larry wide, coming out of the infield hairpin, but he uses that to his advantage. It lets him put the power down a little smoother. Through the kink. Now into the second infield hairpin. Oh, Larry into the dirt! Kept it straight, but that's going to kill his run into the speedway section. And Bravo is right behind again. And that is a prototype that's coming up behind them. I think that's Nizrama. It's right on top of each other for the GT lead. All the other positions seem to have been basically satisfied now. And yeah, that is the prototype leader right behind this duo. Will he factor in? No. The shoot around the outside won't really have an impact on this. Larry tries to get a bit of a draft off Nizrama, but I don't think it's going to matter. Less than 2 minutes left. But when this duo hits the line, they're going to have most, but not the entirety of another lap to go. Run to the end here. Larry B versus Bravo. Bravo has a run. Looks to the outside. Larry went a little bit deeper on braking. Bravo a little smoother, rounded out the corner, but can't get alongside. Bravo has anything, he needs to do it now. There's not much time left. Less than a lap. Bravo's got to run once more. Pulls up behind. Does he make a dive going into the second infield hairpin? No, Larry defends the inside, cuts him off. But did he defend too hard and leave the inside open? Not really, no. It looks like Larry's put it together well enough. Onto the speedway section once more. Larry is wide, Bravo to the inside, but can't get side by side with Larry. He is, though, in drafting position. Does he try to pull alongside Larry going into the bus stop chicane? Bravo looks high. He's really thinking of it. He's considering it. He's pushing. He's got the run. Drag race into the bus stop. This will be their last braking zone. Bravo's ahead. Larry goes in deeper, though. Bravo touches Larry in the behind. I'm sorry, I didn't mean for it to come out that way. Bravo can't make it stick, though. He's stuck behind Larry as the clock is ticking away. He's got the draft. He goes to the outside. He'll get the run off the banking. It's going to be a drag race to the end. Time's up. Over. Plow. And who's got it? I don't know. Well, they both hit each other and the wall when they stop. But time's up. Over. Plow. And that was probably the closest stint finish we're going to see for the GTs today. For the rest of the field, Nizrama easily takes home a win in a nerfed car, probably his strongest showing that he'll have in his entire career. Sungjan takes home second from Berkey, who just completely lost the plot. AMS Andrew will come home in fourth. CBL BX Khan is going to drag that Porsche prototype to fifth. Apex Fuego will come home in sixth. Freelancer will be the last of the finishing prototypes in seventh. And then TNR Larry B and EMC Bravo right on top of each other. We're going to maybe have to look at finishing results later in flashback to see who really got that. RBHM Road Rat is going to be in 10th, third in GT. Riddle U, fourth in GT. J Black, fifth in GT. Kart Racer, 6th in GT, and PTG Brains will round out 7th in GT, last of your GT finishers. So we're going to go ahead and knock out an ad break here. But we'll see how this ends up going after an ad break and try to talk to our stint winners. All right, welcome back to Daytona here. As we are just waiting for the distances to get covered. We're gonna have to look at Nizrama, as Nizrama, once we see his car move, we'll know that they have gotten the distances for everyone because they will have him move down to the mile marker line, and then we'll send out invites to Larry B and EMC Bravo because I'm not sure who won between the two of them, and we'll also try to talk to Nizrama, who has now won 2 stints today, and of the 4 stints he's run, all 4 of them have been very interesting for different reasons. Just kind of waiting right now for the end of distance collection. And we're not going to be done, so I'm going to be taking a break after this and going to sleep. But I will be covering Stint 12 in the early morning hours. Well, my time stands early morning hours here at Daytona. That's a long way to the next mile marker. That's a long way to the next mile marker. There it is. All right, well, with that in mind, we know now that prototypes have gotten their distance. All right. All right, we'll reach out and see if any of our stint winners want to talk after the end of that. Not really sure who won GT. I think it might be Larry, but it was really close between Larry and Bravo. Might see a little later. Also, we are running like an hour and 5 minutes behind schedule, all things considered. Yeah. Don't know if anyone's going to jump in. If they don't jump in, I will do a raid on Coincy, who is currently streaming Stint 7 right now. They're about a little bit more than halfway through Stint 7, so you can catch the run to the end of Stint 7. Yeah, I'm not sure if anyone's going to jump in and talk with us. Literally only 2 people still on track, Kart Racer and Fuego. They both seem to be in ghost mode. Yeah, I don't think we're getting anything from our stint winners, and I do apologize for that, but it seems like this is going to be it for us, so I apologize. But that will wrap up our broadcast here for Stint 6 at Daytona. In the morning, I will be with you to show off the final stint for TORA's 24 Hours of Daytona here on Forza Motorsport 8. Until then, farewell everyone, and goodbye. What do you mean invalid username? Yep, start raid. Go raid them. Go raid them as they finish up Stint 7. Have a good time all. Farewell and goodbye.